Hi guys, Martin Curry from BuyInvestLive at buyinvestlive.com.au. You're here with Aqib and Sunna. And sorry, just watching the children out on the road on a wet day here in northwest Sydney. So what's the suburb again? We're in Rouse Hill. Rouse Hill. So you said you've lived in the local area for about 3 years.
3 years, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Nice place to live?
Yes, beautiful place.
Yeah, and you've been in Australia for 13 years.
Yeah. 13 years.
She's 13, I'm 15.
You came out separately, but you're married and both from Pakistan.
Yes. Yeah, I came here first and she came after me.
How do you like life out in the western suburbs of Sydney? Do you enjoy it out here? Is it a good place for you to raise your family?
Yeah, it's a very good area, and it's a good environment for the kids, especially very good schools. They have a very good ranking of the NEPLAN. NEPLAN. So I like it. Yeah.
Do your children are obviously of school age? Are there good schools in the area? Good child support services and activities for children, things like that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have a lot of options here. Nice schools, private schools as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of options for the good schooling for the kids.
Now, things are challenging at the moment. High interest rates, high inflation, real wages I don't think have changed in the better part of 17 years. So how do you manage the cost of living on a day-to-day basis?
It's a challenging, that's right. How we are managing it, we are trying to cut off our expenses. We are not going for the holidays. We used to go for the holidays twice in a year.
Yes.
We are not going and trying to spend more time local. School holidays have started already. We should be going to the Gold Coast by this time, but we can't afford. It's too expensive for us. So this is one way we are trying to manage the cost of living. And second way is she's working part-time as well. She's giving me a hand. Yes. We have young kids. She should be taking care of the kids full-time, but it's not possible now. She's working part-time on the weekends. So this is how we are trying to manage the expenses. And we don't do the shopping. We used to do a lot of shopping as well. On the Black Friday or on the Boxing Day. We don't do a lot of shopping now.
No. Gee, it's hard. It's real hard. Do you see a difference when you go shopping at Coles or Woolies or anywhere else? Do you see a difference in the price of?
A lot. The grocery, the small snacks for the kids. Oh my God! Yes, it's too much. Yeah. And I'm a shopaholic, so now I have to close my hands because everything is very expensive. It's very hard to live in Sydney because Sydney is expensive day by day. Yeah.
Do you have your own home or do you rent yourself?
We have paying mortgage. Yeah.
Oh, you have a mortgage, so it's really hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah. Here's a question I ask a lot of people. Do you know what the RBA cash rate is at the moment?
We don't know, but I know what we are paying to the bank. That's what I know.
Yeah, that's the important figure, isn't it? Yeah. It pains me to talk to people when they're paying more money than they have to because no one goes to the bank and the banks are all down the street here. But no one walks in off the street and says, I need to challenge you on this interest rate because it's too high. And they just keep on raising it every single month and without fail. So you must be very mindful of the fact when the board meets and they raise those rates. You must be very mindful of that.
Yeah. We wait for this meeting every month, and when they raise a rate, we see the reflection in our interest rate. Even there's a big difference. I'm paying 6.22, I think 6.19 or something.
Yeah.
Every time there's a rate rise, I see 0.10% jump in my interest rate.
Yeah.
So, but this is what it is. I don't know where they are going to stop. I don't know. Are we going to live the normal life you used to live before 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I'm not sure.
It's when's the next board meeting? January? Yeah. So we're okay for Christmas, but when they come back in January. Unfortunately, the inflation at the moment is 5.4%. During Christmas, everyone goes out and spends big, and that in and of itself will drive up inflation. And the lead up to Christmas drives up inflation. And then the RBA, again, won't necessarily consider the seasonal aspect of that, and they'll say, oh, inflation for the quarter was this, therefore we're going to have to raise the interest rates again. So it's hard as hell. So
Yeah.
It's impacting your cost of living. Is the same for friends and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. Another thing is because of the high interest rate and the wages are not increasing, we are stuck with one bank. We cannot do the refinance. Whatever the bank is giving us, 6.2, we don't have option to go and shop around because no one is offering us refinance because of the high interest rate.
Yeah.
Our wages are not increasing, family is growing. That's another challenge. If that refinance option is there for a lot of mortgage owners, they could negotiate good interest rate and they can go and find something better. But we are kind of stuck in a cycle unless the interest rate drops or until she works full time.
Yeah.
We are paying very high interest rate.
Well, we'll see what we can do, and we'll talk about that off camera. But thanks so much for sharing your story with us. I hope for everyone that rates come down, that inflation comes down, the cost of living decreases, and all these pressures we have on us at the moment decrease.
So when I came in Australia, I haven't given the exam. It's my mistake, and because I'm pregnant straight away, so I was like when the baby born, and then I give the exam. But I did after my first child, and then I did the nursing course from the Liverpool hospital, and I worked 3 years as a nurse and aged care, and then as my second born, and they both have a difference about 3 years difference, and then my parents say you have to come back and just stay, and it's on the contract base. So they was like, we can't renew the contract because if you live in Pakistan 3-4 months, so we can't renew your contract. And then when I come back, because then I have no job, nothing, and then I start the event planner work. So nowadays I'm doing the event planner work. And recently I finished my pathology blood collector course from the TAFE this year. The problem is when after the COVID, obviously then it's interest rate and everything is costly. But and they want the both parents, like both couple, they have to do work. But they increase the child care, this child care fee. They give the too much subsidy, but the problem is because he's the manager and the city rail. So if your the pay rate is more than 80 plus, then they won't give you the too much. So if I want to go and do this work for the full time or maybe the casual, but the thing is where I leave my kids, so they increase everything. They're saying we're giving too much subsidy and too much benefits for the child care, but they increase the fee, too much fee. Because I remember when my first child was born, and it is 2012, and that time we just paid $20, and it's $80 per day or $70 per day, I think. But now the one she's going, it's $140 per day. So they give and they're giving the subsidy. But what's the point? Like we can't get too much.
No.
So, because our his income is more than 80 plus, so we can't get too much. So we can't put the kids in the daycare for 5 days. So, in the end we end up like maybe some $500 or maybe more than.
Sure, that's a lot.
Yeah, so this is more. This is one issue as well. Like not only the grocery and all these things, because when I'm doing the TAFE course recently, and my girls, they are going in the aftercare, so I have to pay for the aftercare $37 per class, like per day. So 2 girls, so it's $50 per week, right? So. Like they increases everything, and they say no, we give a lot of a lot of things, like we get subsidies, and we give the benefits, and you have to go and even in the jobs they're not as when I came here, and there was like, it's in Pakistan I have a 4-year experience. And there was like no, it's in everywhere, like after it's finished my nursing course, and there was like we need the experience from where I get the experience. You have to try me first, and so it's really hard. Like if they're giving you the benefit, but the other way, the benefits, it's not count. Not sufficient for the big family. Yeah.
It's like a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
You cannot get your home refinanced because she's not working. If she's working, we are paying a lot of child care. At the end, we are not saving anything.
If anyone can do it, it's Kelvin. He's a bit of a superstar with that stuff. But it's heartbreaking hearing all these stories, I think back to, you've got all these politicians sitting in Parliament on their mahogany benches, sipping water that was filtered from the hills of Sweden. And then they retired to their quarters, and flick through their property portfolios because they all own multiple. I think they're completely detached from the realities of, and we've been talking to people all day, I think they're completely detached from the realities of living in certain parts of Sydney, and it is heartbreaking. And it is those boneheads in Parliament and those simpletons on the RBA board that don't recognise that the change in interest rate that they make is hurting people like you. And I feel like driving to Canberra and holding a protest sign outside the... I'm not sure it's going to make a difference, but, hearing these stories all day, I just wish they would do the same thing. So, guys, I honestly wish you all the best, and certainly I look forward to hearing from you in the future. I'd love to see you as a doctor, but thanks very much for talking to us. Guys, buy Invest Live, buyinvestlive.com.au. Give Kelvin a buzz. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.